So yeah, I'm recording this video maybe just for austerity or maybe to look back in the future. And part of it is just to kind of document something which I believe will be very important for me. So this is not the usual kind of video that I normally make, and I might not even release this. I don't know, this might end up in massive failure because right now, being honest, I am kind of in the worst health condition in my life. My cholesterol and sugar, it's all fine. My blood sugar is fine. The cholesterol is okay. But when it comes to my weight, I am basically at the heaviest I've ever been in my whole life. And that's been down to a lot of reasons. And, funnily enough, if I go back 2 years from today, I would have been in probably the best shape I've been in my life for some time. So yeah, as of recording, it's 17th August 2025, and this is the first video in maybe if I feel proud of myself, a series about losing weight, and also it's partly for accountability. So I currently weigh 116 kilos. I just measured myself, and that is the heaviest I've ever been in my life. Previously, when I just started university, I was at around 110, and I lost quite a lot of weight in that time, and I went down to close to 90 without any major exercise or any workouts. I played a lot of futsal, and I starved myself basically, and that's how I lost weight. I've been pretty big all my life, so I've been trying to lose weight for the past 15 years. The first time I went to a gym, I was 15 years old. And in Malaysia, where the focus is more towards exams and sort of educational results, I went for a few months at the end of the year. And then once the school year started back up, I stopped. I wouldn't call that a serious attempt, but it was my first attempt. And then after that, once I finished school, I went for a few months again. But again, at this time, I was still naive, and I really didn't know what I was doing, and that's when I faced some hurdles when it came to sort of losing weight. And then when I started university, there was a lot going on when I first started, a lot of isolation, a lot of depression, and I basically, I was away from home, so I basically starved myself. And that kind of worked because, calorie deficit and whatnot, if you're eating less than you burn, you're going to lose weight, but it was not a healthy way to do it. But still, I wanted to lose more weight. So my second attempt, proper attempt to hit the gym and work out, was when I was on my internship. And there was another mistake I made then, which I have learned from, which after my work or after my day at work as an intern, I would go back home to have dinner and then try to go to the gym. And what that resulted in was just me eating dinner and being lazy to go afterwards. And I corrected that for my next attempt, which came when I got my first job. And when I got my first job, I was actually quite consistent. So, and since my first job was much further from my home than the previous internship job, I went to the gym immediately after work. But there was a lot of flux because of that job, because I really didn't like what I was doing. So I was consistent, but also I made the second big mistake of working out, which is I focused more on cardio. I focused so much on cardio that for the whole year that I worked there, that I went to the gym there, I would say I spent a solid 7 or 8 months focusing more on cardio. And I did lose some weight, and my cardiovascular health was definitely better, but it wasn't like any significant weight loss. And again, that's more naivety, because it's all this fear mongering. If you start lifting and if it doesn't work out, you get bigger. And I didn't know how to look into calorie deficits and stuff like that. I was tracking my meals, but I wasn't focusing on putting on muscle, because when you put on muscle, your daily calorie requirements kind of go up, because you need more energy to fuel your body because of that dense muscle. And so you're more likely to lose weight. I didn't do that. I focused on cardio mostly. That until the end, then I started switching to weightlifting. So that's the second big mistake. So after I quit that job, I traveled for a bit, and when I came back, I got the current job that I'm in The problem is it was 2020 and COVID hit. So for basically all of 2020 and 2021, I did not work out at all. So yeah, there's that. Now, unlike most people, when COVID was around, I did get like a sort of staggered work setup, but my work is always on site. I'm always moving on site. So compared to most people, I don't think I put up that much weight during the whole COVID time. But then in 2022, I was kind of just fussing about when should I go, when will I be stable, and I finally took the leap in 2022. In October, I think, of 2022, to just hit the gym. And when I did, I was consistent. I was consistent for about a year, and I felt healthier. That's why I said in 2023, I felt as healthy as I could be. I was still pretty heavy because COVID time, I definitely did balloon a little bit. I mean, even pre-COVID, I ballooned a little bit. And then after that, I ballooned a bit more, and I was about the 100-kilo mark. But from that 22 to 23, I lost a little bit of weight here and there, and I was putting on muscle, and I could see my body definition look better. But that all went downhill quite quickly. And that's where I discovered a few more mistakes I kind of was making. And the first one was lack of sleep. I was sacrificing sleep a lot. And I hope, because today is a Sunday and tomorrow will be a Monday, and I'm hoping to hit the gym for the first time in years proper tomorrow. But it's already 10:30 p.m. and I should really be heading to bed, because if I don't, I am gonna be exhausted tomorrow. And I think that's one mistake I was making in my current job. I was sacrificing sleep. I was sacrificing sleep because it was kind of revenge, because my job requires me to work late. So I decided to sacrifice my sleep to just kind of be able to wind down. And now what I need to focus on is getting enough sleep. And another thing I discovered that probably I wasn't doing really well was water. And I think that's one thing I'm still going to struggle with, is getting the proper amount of water in my body, my water intake. In fact, even now I'm thirsty. I should probably drink this cup of water. So yeah, that was that. And also back then, my job is kind of still stressful, and I really need to find ways to deal with that stress, because even stress hinders weight loss. But what happened between 2023 to now was towards the end of 2023, it's where all these celebrations happen, all the holidays, Deepavali, Christmas, all that, and I kind of fell off a bit. But I was thinking, you know what, January I'd get back to it. And in January, my superior at the time kind of dumped a bit more work on me, and yeah, the situation in 2024 when it came to work was untenable for me. And yeah, there was a lot of flux. I threatened to quit my job at that time, and I was then moved to a different department. And you know, when you shift departments, you know, you're focused on trying to adapt to that department, and now you're with a new superior, and you're trying to just adjust to everything. So I never really got the chance to get back to regular exercise. But one thing I did keep up during most of last year was playing badminton. I think I love playing badminton, and so I would play it, you know, either on the weekends or in the middle of the week with my colleagues. So yeah, there was a lot of flux in 2024, and a lot of things changed at work, and I've been moved around a little bit more. Also, I was admitted to the hospital at the end of last year because I have foot pain, which may be attributed to my weight, but you know, it might not be as well. And then even this year, I was out for basically 2 months with my leg in a cast. So yeah, there was all that kind of hindrances. And then on top of just work again is busy because I'm in more of a leadership position now. So I have to kind of take responsibility to make sure things are going well. And that can sometimes be to the detriment. I have done multiple night shifts. I have worked 24 hours a day sometimes. And that really kind of hinders you wanting to go to the gym. even like I planned to start last week or like 2 weeks ago, right? 2 weeks ago, no, this work stuff, go back late, can't hit the gym. Then, boom, week after that, same thing. And also because I was working throughout the weekend, had literally no energy to just do anything after work. So finally this weekend I actually got a weekend of what I would say is rest, and I'm hoping that tomorrow I actually get to start. If I don't start tomorrow, I hope I start soon. I hope I find the motivation to start soon. I've also found another mistake which I was making, which was the gym that I was going to for the whole of that 22 to 23 period was a little further from my house. So it took about it was a little further from my job, and it took about 40 minutes to an hour sometimes to get to that gym, and by the time I'm there I just feel no motivation to enter. So I've been trying to look for nearby gyms that will take me 10 to 15 minutes, and then even if I leave late, let's say at 6:30, I'm still there by 6:45. I start working out by 7, I'm out by 8:30, I'm at home by 9, I have dinner, and hopefully 11 I'm in bed and ready to sleep and just sort of fixing everything. It comes down to making choices between what I love. I love anime, I love games, but for me to prioritize my health, I have to choose what I need to give up, because with my job that kind of takes up way too much time of the day. I don't think it's a healthy sort of schedule, because I work from 8 a.m. to 5:45 p.m. and I don't think that's viable. I don't think that's how companies are supposed to schedule their employees' work hours, especially because it's basically maximizing the work hours that you can get in Malaysia, the legal work hours. And that's just the stipulated hours, but with Malaysian work culture, sometimes you're kind of expected to stay past that for free, basically. So yeah, I need to find balance in that as well. And if I can sort that out, then hopefully I can get a bit healthier. I've already taken my first photo, so this is step 0, right? Tomorrow is step 1. This is 0. I've got a calorie tracking app ready. I've got a workout tracking app, which I've always used for the past few years, and I think it's a great workout app. And yeah, let's just see how this pans out. I weighed myself, I've taken some sample photos. I will update this every month, I think, and I don't know if I'm going to release this as a video because it's kind of personal. I'm recording this in case I get the motivation to. And yeah, it's gonna be a journey, and I just want to document the journey and maybe share it if I feel confident enough. So yeah, I'll see you in a month.